Trapping. Hey, what's up, people? Welcome back to Saturdays at the Boys podcast, and I'm here with...
KJ.
Yeah, I'm not by myself this week. Woo!
Yeah, I'm sorry about the times you were by yourself like that. That's the part that I was really sad about, where it's like, shit, I'm leaving Jacob every time I do this.
Oh, no, you're good. I know it happens and whatnot. But anyways, so this is episode 65.
65, 4 more episodes, and it'll be the best episode ever.
Yeah. 4 weeks from now. So as you guys know, we take the first 5 minutes to talk about whatever, the last 5 minutes to talk about whatever, then we get into the actual topic for this week. And last week's topic was on baseball.
Oh shit, I missed baseball.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, that kind of makes me sad.
But you'll love tonight's topic to make up for last week's. Don't worry. So.
What's tonight's?
I'll let you know after 5 minutes.
Fuck yeah, I keep forgetting that's a thing.
Yeah, it's kind of always been a thing. The thing that hasn't been a thing for a while now is when we used to do the half
Every
times.
single time I ask you what it is, it's like the mouse tool that they keep hidden in Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah.
What's the surprise dinner for today, Donald? Well, I don't know.
Alright.
I don't know exactly what to say. Dude, I'm out of my rhythm from how long I've been out of the podcast. Speaking of, do you see that Jacksepticeye started a podcast?
Oh yeah, with Ethan. Right?
I think it was with Ethan. I don't know, I haven't checked out his podcast yet, but I just know I saw videos saying he made it.
Yeah, I just saw some, cause I've just been seeing a lot of stuff with Jack and Ethan, so I'm assuming it's them too. I mean, shit, we started this podcast like over a year ago. Which is weird to think about. Very weird to think about. It's about to be a year and 3 months soon. Which that would have been a whole 15 months. So, yeah. Again, I already made my whole rant last week since I was by myself about what's going on with me. Just coughing up a lung over there. Oh my god.
It hurts. Ow.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, but just similar with me, just working and doing school, even though I work a part-time job, so I shouldn't be complaining too much because I don't work full-time. I don't work full-time mainly because of school. I'm sure once I'm done with school, I'll probably be working full-time since I won't be doing school, because that totally makes sense. You good?
I had like a bubble in my chest, so as I was coughing, this bubble was rising and it was getting stuck.
Oh god.
Yeah, so it felt like I was like choking on an apple in my chest.
Jeez.
Oh.
Oh man, but as we're waiting on him, I'm gonna check analytics real quick.
Yeah, here, sorry, I was just putting something away. Fuck, ow! Ah.
I guess the one of the most recognized or most seen one of the recent episodes of the podcast was from 3 weeks ago when we did an episode on another episode on The Legend of Zelda. That was the second one we did on it. And then
Did I miss that one too?
You might have. I can't remember.
I think I did, because I don't remember doing a Zelda episode. I totally would have remembered that.
Yeah, and then another one has similar condition, but its recent one is one on horror games from 4 weeks ago. We actually did that one on the beginning of April, and now we're making one on the end of April. So these months just kind of go by as they go. Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange how fast these weeks go by sometimes.
Yeah. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes like you notice they go by. At least for me, like you notice it go by, but like they feel this. They almost feel the same. So it just like feels like it doesn't go by sometimes.
Like I'm almost 19 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. We have a birthday boy, coming up.
Yeah, I'm birthday boy, bro.
we need to figure out. Wait, I'm trying to look. What's the topic for your birthday episode? Oh, that one's gonna be perfect.
At that point, we'll finally do the one that we did. What was it? Celebrities on instead.
No, yeah. Last year for your birthday episode, we did celebrities.
No, I'm talking about another episode where I wanted to do one. I remember the category, too, specifically.
Yeah. And
Sentai.
oh yeah, and then we changed it to.
And we changed it because like that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's not YouTube friendly. We've gotten demonetized.
The deleted YouTube video of the Saturdays with the Boys podcast.
Yeah. We used to have a history, like a big history with freaking copyright there for a little bit.
It does.
I think our first copyright episode was when we did that anime episode.
Yeah, that one got me sad.
I'll never forget your reaction to that. That was hysterical.
I remember when you told me about that. We were at my house for the first time. I remember too. I got my Akatsuki robe on after that.
Yeah, and oh geez, we're like 7 minutes in. We were way past the time to address the topic for this week.
Oh, speaking of so you're planning on coming back to Colorado next year, right? Like living?
We will have to see because I've been trying to talk with Mom if there's someone who I could possibly live with that would be open and having me. Obviously, obviously I would like pay rent and I would have to have a job and whatnot, but.
The only reason I'm sorry, the only reason I wouldn't suggest my place is because they've already tried that with Red, so I don't know how they'd feel about you.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't thinking about living at your place.
Yeah, and I would offer if it was up to me, but I'm pretty sure you've heard it from Red already.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good, I get it.
Alright. Give me a second.
Alright, so, yeah, you're gonna love this one for this week, because the topic for this week is samurai. I like samurais. Yeah. And so I don't know like a whole bunch about samurais. The only things I do know is if you guys checked out one of my longest and I think one of my most recognized game series is on Ghost of Tsushima. I think that's like the first time I should have started to learn about like samurais and whatnot. And because I remember, so if you guys haven't seen that, you guys are trying to check it out, hit the link in the description to my main channel and check that series out. I actually just finished I didn't just finish, but not too long ago I finished the director's cut DLC on that game. Amazing DLC, just amazing game overall, really.
Oh, another thing you could also show for this episode is the katana I also gave you.
That's right. It's probably in storage somewhere, probably.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Something's caught my throat.
But yeah, so because I remember I started that game. Because I think the only reason I started that game is because someone commented down, "Oh, play Ghost of Tsushima," and I was like, "Alright," and then I got it. And then I started playing it. This was way before I met Kirby. So this was like probably May of 2021, so just about 2 years ago when I first started that game. And then.
By the way, I have something I think you're gonna love.
Yeah.
So my grandparents are gonna write a story on some part of my life, and I think I actually have an idea of what part of my life that I wanted to write about.
Yeah.
That I thought was the best part of my life so far.
Alright.
The summer of 2022.
The summer of 2022.
Nah, for me, that was like my best summer. I was outside, I was working, I was going with you guys. We were drinking and having small parties with friends and family.
Yeah.
Dogs were always out. We were always making videos, hanging out almost every day, had a plan every weekend, always had money to go to come and go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to me, that is the best. That's the best summer I've had.
A lot of summer was it was fun. I know we tried to make the most of it before I had to leave too.
Oh, this Christmas was so fun because of you guys.
It was fun. I know we want to make the best time we have while I was there for 2 weeks, and I'm sure we'll try to do the same this summer when I'm there.
Yeah, bro, when you're here this summer, because I'm not doing summer school, and when I'm not working, we have time to do so much fucking shit.
Mm. And I'm hoping I can get time off work too.
Or my own car insurance, we could go fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
Fuck it, we'll go to the YMCA one day.
Oh,
Not
God.
YMCA, sorry, Estes.
Dude, I miss Estes so much. I miss the mountains. I really do.
So there's only one thing that I'm gonna request when we're up in Estes.
What?
The 1800s cowboy photos that you could take. We all get one.
I mean, I haven't wore it yet,
We
but
come as a group, like we're all in together.
back when my mom used to. Do you remember when my mom used to work for Harley Davidson?
Yeah, bro, I remember that.
So I remember because I found it recently. It's in my closet, and I haven't worn it yet. But there's this. I forgot mom bought me this Harley Davidson like flannel like hoodie thing.
Ooh, that's awesome.
So I was like, what if I wore that and we went out to Estes? That would kind of look like, it would kind of have that same vibe.
Speaking of Harleys, I'm actually thinking about getting a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been looking and I want to get something like, what is it? Something hopefully within like 2010s.
Mm.
But it's gonna be something hopefully, you could search them up if you want so you know which ones I'm talking about. It's like the Honda Rebels one.
Oh, okay.
Then there's also the Indian Bob Scout. And then there was I forgot what the last one is, so I'm not gonna say it, but the third one that I really want to get, because I know you'll never ride on the back of my motorcycle, is a motorcycle with a sidecar.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, because I want to get a sidecar because you look awesome. And that way, if there is an apocalypse, you can shoot for me. Think about it. Your middle name's already Leo. You'll be just exactly like Leo, but war version. You have a helmet on top of your head with spikes, and you have a rifle that's left-handed.
Oh my god.
On the left side of the car. With a left-handed holster with a knife that's on the left side of the sheath.
Yeah.
Are you fully left-hand dominant or just shooting left-hand dominant?
The one thing I do left-handed is shooting, so that's the only thing I know that I do left-handed.
Yeah, the only thing... Okay, so oddly enough... Okay, so this is a weird question that we're gonna have to ask our audience as well. Do you beat your meat with your left or right hand?
I am not answering that.
Come on, bro, please, for me.
Not on the podcast.
By the way, did you get what I sent you?
Oh, the letter?
Yeah?
Yeah, I read it yesterday, yeah.
Oh, great. Was it worth it?
I saw that and I was like, you motherfucker. Oh my god.
What'd you spend it on?
I haven't spent it on shit. I don't know if I plan on spending it on it, because I kind of just want to leave it there for the joke.
Is death collecting dust?
Bro,
Actually, I feel like the fact that it's been like fucking raining where you're at right now is because of like your Ghost of Tsushima moment. It's just your dad changing the weather, trying to make it fucking windy to get to your objective, and your objective's just always in Colorado. So just fucking trying to go like, your objective is like 500,000 fucking miles away, so the wind's just. That's why the hurricane happened.
Yeah.
By the way, is your house close to hurricanes?
Yes and no, like, cause like we're close by the water, but we've been told we're in a safe enough area to where we get like very excessive winds like during hurricanes, so we don't get like any like damage or anything.
I see, but you guys also still do have hurricane insurance, don't you?
I think so. I don't even know when hurricane season is. I think it's from the end of July, or it starts at the end of July and ends at the beginning of November.
Oh, by the way, this summer, I might come and live with you guys for a little while.
Alright.
Because my sister's already planning on moving out, and I kind of want to move out for a little while.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah, so if I can. And plus, that just means I'm back to the podcast.
That's true. I just gotta talk with Mom.
Yeah, because as far as the only thing that is a little weird is that as far as I know, you and me would be sharing rooms.
Yeah. I mean...
And the only thing I'm thinking is, like, you and me have, like, shared sleeping spaces, so I don't think it'd be that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Especially because I'd be most likely sleeping on the fucking floor or something.
Or we would take turns, like, one person has the bed one night, the other has the bed.
Respectfully, I'm not sharing a fucking bed with you. It's not because of, like, any homophobic or gay shit at all. It's because of how much you fucking move. Bro, you hit a fucking emote wheel while you sleep. You spend V-Bucks in the Fortnite item shop from how much fucking emotes you have while you sleep. Go to sleep, you're doing the fucking wave, you're doing the whoa while you're sleeping.
Dude, it's just how I am. Like, I'm not aware of how much I move in my sleep until when I wake up.
Until looking at you while you're sleeping going, yo, he's fucking the wall of the bed! Fucking Orange Justice dancing ass while sleeping. Had time to watch Infinity War and teach Thanos how to floss type of
Yeah. Oh god, but oh yeah, I'm getting freaking caught off guard. We need to get back on that.
Oh yeah, Samurai.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go on Google.
So, I could list off some facts that I know about the Samurai to start it off with.
Alright, so here on People Also Ask is...
So, interesting fact, the armor that was usually made for the Samurai, on how they were like those giant shoulder pads,
Yeah.
is because if they were mounted on a horse or even on castle walls or on the ground, whenever they were using a bow and arrow, which was the Samurai's strongest weapon was the bow and arrow, they were renowned for their archery, especially as an army and as a unit, because they had very specific commands commanded by a Tessen, which was also called Tessen Jutsu. The pads would cover their arms and shoulders, but that little sliver above the pad would go just beneath or above their nose, so they could see above it, and then their helmets would curve, so only their eyes could see through it. So they were mainly protected from other arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they were renowned for their archery, is because they had armor that was flexible for it, when most other armors couldn't even go all the way up.
Yeah.
other than that, the weapons that they made were also very unique and were very commanding.
Mm.
Like, for example, in Ghost of Tsushima, where you see, like, the Mongols obviously overpowered the 300 samurai.
Yeah.
That's also because they had better, like, weapon equipment and just more men in general.
Yeah.
Which is something that truly the samurai did lack on, which is where the katana is a very weak weapon in comparison to Mongolian weapons and Mongolian steel. So in Ghost of Tsushima, it's portrayed by that very equally when you see on how easily they're slaughtered, on how big and how flexible and strong their weapons are, versus the katana, especially because you have to keep constantly upgrading your katana, which in reality, that is how it works. You always have to keep maintaining your katana. So Ghost of Tsushima did it right in showing how it upgrades your katana to making it good.
Yeah.
But having a level 1 katana is technically like a more accurate version of the average katana that every samurai had.
Yeah.
So in comparison, samurai swords, or the katana, was referencing a really bad sword. But it was one of the coolest, and really good for duels.
Yeah. Alright.
That's the reason why dueling Lord Shimura was so hard.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you and me have different personalities when we played that, because when I played Ghost of Tsushima, I love, like, fucking poisoning people and getting everything. You just want to get through the story and save Lord Shimura.
Yeah.
I was on a mission to kill everything and find everything, and you just wanted a nice, relaxing something.
Alright, guys, let's see what he's talking about. I gotta check out the series that I did on it. It's actually, I think one of my prouds.
I recommend checking it out. That's actually my favorite series that he's made.
Yeah, it's a long one. Let's see, because I started it. Well, even though it's a really long game, which obviously there's that, but also because I don't put in enough time, or I'm not able to put in enough time and dedicate to a certain game, put out certain episodes in a period of time. That's why I kind of post weekly. But I also make a chance for other games too, so that makes it longer for other games for other episodes to release and whatnot. And because obviously, like, I don't do YouTube full time, but I put a lot of my time in YouTube still, if that makes sense. Because as I was saying, I started the game back in May of 2021, and I didn't finish that game till February of 2022. So I basically finished that game, like, right around after I met Kirby, basically.
Yeah, because it was right by your birthday. I remember we had the final episode playing at your birthday.
Yeah, and so if you guys add that up, that's a whole 9 months. So I think that's probably the longest I've ever spent on a game, like, ever. It's 9 months.
I remember, when I first met you, that was, like, the first thing I asked you was, like, hey, have you ever played, like, these games? It's like, this game, no, and then when I said Ghost of Tsushima, you said, yeah. I got really excited. And I was like, that's the first thing we were ever able to talk about.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so weird to think about that was on, like, the first night we met and how awkward we were.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like with me and Hunter, how me and him first bonded over Left 4 Dead, and then it was Call of Duty, and then it was Outlast.
Yeah, I think for you and me for video games, it's Outlast.
Well, I introduced you to Outlast, and
yeah. I mean, I already knew the game's existence, and I knew most of the story because I seen it. But then playing through it after years of never seeing it was like it was so fun getting a genuine scare. Yeah.
And also, if you guys want to see that, we did a series on Kirby playing the Outlast DLC. The reason we didn't have him play the first game was because, like, when he played the first game, or the main game, it was kind of just, like, unexpected, so he kind of just, like, played it for fun. But if we filmed that, it would have been gold.
Hey, like, I should play this, and you're like, sure, and then out of nowhere, you and me are just playing Outlast, and then as we're playing it, we're, like, genuinely invested in this. And then we never thought of recording it, so as me and you are just playing together and having this very fun time, Chris Walker comes out of nowhere, scares the fuck out of me, and I scream like a bitch for the first time in a long time ever in playing a video game.
I
To the
remember
point
that.
that it made Jacob jump out of his fucking chair.
Yeah. Dude, that's like right in my ear.
And then, because of that one scream, got loose, I kept screaming that entire fucking night. And then Outlast 2 was no better.
Oh yeah, we still didn't do it on Outlast 2. The only thing is it's a much longer game.
Okay, that's something I'm so fucking salty about you, motherfucker. Every fucking single time I went over to your house, every fucking weekend, say, okay, we're gonna record the Outlast 2 now.
Oh,
we
yeah.
record the Outlast 2, and then we stop halfway through because we do it at 12 fucking o'clock.
Oh yeah, that was my mistake. That's like when we do play games, we're gonna do it like in the middle of the day, like casual.
Bitch, your mistake? What the fuck? No, bro, that ain't just your mistake. We did that every weekend. Puncher had a 9 to 5 job, and it's a Sunday. You doomed us all.
Oh man, but anyways, so back on the topic here. So are there still active samurai? The samurai warriors do not exist today. It is illegal to carry swords and arms in Japan. However, the cultural legacy of the samurai exists today. The descendants of the samurai families also exist today.
That is true. The last samurai to exist was still alive during Abraham Lincoln's presidency.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so there was a time when Abraham Lincoln could have sent a telegram to a samurai.
Wow.
I forget, you could search him up too. It'll pop up, The Last Samurai, it's documented.
Alright, so the second one, what do samurais do? Samurai were employed by feudal lords for their martial skills in order to defend the lord's territories against rivals, to fight enemies identified by the government, and battle with hostile tribes and bandits. For this reason, samurai could live in barracks, in a castle, or in their own private homes. Alright, so number 3. What do you call a female samurai? An onamusha? Is that how you say it?
So, an onamusha is kind of like the Japanese name for a swordswoman.
Okay.
Or something close to that. So think of like Lady Masako.
Oh yeah. I remember
Or how they were like the wives, the daughters, or the sisters, or the aunts of certain clans. They could be taught how to fight to defend the homes of their stead, while the men fight in the wars.
Yeah.
So it's like the men fight in the wars and the women stayed. However, that was a very rare thing because the standard for a lot of Japanese women of that time was for them to be very slim and beautiful and powdered up in makeup.
Yeah.
And very, very thin.
Yeah. Alright.
No, as we're talking thin, Japan has like very high beauty standards overall. And so like being like 110 pounds as a woman is very common there. That's like average.
Wow.
Being 130 is like that in some places.
Jeez.
Yeah, or I remember, like, say if your sister, Red, went to Japan, she would be considered fat.
Jeez.
Yeah, and that would be, like to find bathing suits for her there, they would be in, like, plus-size stores. Like, it's very, very common, so there's not a lot of, like, fat people in Japan.
Yeah. Alright, so onamusha is a term referring to female warriors in pre-modern Japan. These women fought in battle alongside samurai men. They were members of the bushi class in feudal Japan and were trained in the use of weapons to protect their household, family, and honor in times of war. Alright, so number 4, what does samurai literally mean? Warrior or knight. In Japanese, the word samurai means warrior or knight. Definitions of samurai, feudal Japanese military, a sorcery, a type of a sorcery nobility. Okay. Last one. Alright, so why did Japan get rid of the samurai? The role of the samurai in peacetime declined gradually over this period, but two factors led to the end of samurai: the urbanization of Japan and the end of isolationism. As more and more Japanese moved to the cities, fewer farmers produced the rice needed to feed the growing population. He's dying again.
Yeah, it hurts, bro.
Alright, so now we're gonna go to YouTube. Alright, then we're gonna search up samurai. See what comes up. Alright, yeah, there's a whole documentary on it. What a samurai versus Mongol battle really looked like. Huh. 8.2 million views. It means about as long as a screen recording.
I'm sorry for dying, man.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh god, it hurts so bad.
Alright. Alright. Alright, so I think this would be a good time for a first screen recording. Just gotta check which one I want to do. And
I'm back, was grabbing water.
oh, you're good. Alright, so let's do this one. What a samurai versus Mongol battle really looked like. Alright. It's about as long as the screen recording, so we'll just get right into it.
Fun fact, Ghost of Tsushima, in Tsushima is an actual island that is off the coast of Japan.
That's what I was thinking, cause like
Tsushima is an actual place, but it's not exactly like the actual island in the game.
yeah, that's what I was thinking when I was playing the game, because like I was thinking I mean it was like I actually believed that Tsushima was actually like an actual place in Japan.
No, yeah, Tsushima is an actual place, but like I said, it's an actual own island, and the Mongolians actually did invade Tsushima too.
Alright, so
The sad story was, though, is that they did conquer it, I believe. Because, you know, goddamn Mongolians.
yeah, fuck the Mongolians.
Don't actually say that, bro, that's racist.
Yeah,
Bro,
but
I was just referencing a South Park character. You just said fuck a race, bro.
bro, I was saying that mainly because of the game.
Well,
Not because of the race, because they were a pain in the ass in the game.
oh yeah, well if they were African, would you say fuck the blacks?
I was talking about the game, not the actual race.
Well, they're Mongolian in real life too, bro.
Yeah, I was talking about the game though. Wasn't directly towards the race. Anyways, moving on. Alright, starting this.
So, you know, I can argue with that, but I can't do it here on camera.
Starting your screen recording. 3, 2, 1.
1.
Alright, let's go right into it.
The islanders of Tsushima noticed them first. The dark figures cutting across the Pacific horizon one evening in 1274. Local Governor So Sukakuni knows what's coming. He rallies 80 mounted samurai and leads them through the mountains toward the beach. The invasion fleet lurches forward. The samurai look outnumbered. 6 years ago, the Mongol ruler Kublai Khan, grandson of Genghis Khan, sent a letter to Japan's Kamakura government. Innumerable people in far-off lands have learned to fear our power and have longed for our virtuous rule. Moreover, the sages consider the entire universe one family. Therefore, if we should not establish friendly relations with each other, how could it be in accordance with the doctrine of one family? Who would care to appeal to arms? It's seemingly an offer to peacefully submit to Kublai Khan and become subjects of the Mongols. Yet to reject his proposal is to flirt with apocalypse, Holocaust. The sublime cities of the Islamic world, opulent kingdoms of Russia, mighty domain of Imperial China, have been defiled, burned, gutted. Millions of men, women, and children butchered by the Mongols. For unknown reasons, Kublai Khan has decided that Japan should now bend the knee to his empire. Japan's government responds by ignoring his letter. So Sukakuni is first to suffer the consequences. At dawn, 1,000 Mongols charge the beach. Samurai are masters of the blade, but they are first and foremost horse archers. The Japanese fight in small, disparate bands of samurai warriors and their followers. They prefer to pick off individual targets at range. This initially works against the Mongols, and Tsushima's defenders cut down many of the oncoming invaders. But Mongol tactics are foreign and overwhelming. Mongol domination has come on the backs of battle-worn nomads trained in horse archery since childhood. They launch synchronized charges in units, raining mass volleys of arrows down on clumps of enemies. When the exhausted enemy herds begin to thin, they charge the gaps and look to finish the battle with axes and swords. Here, the samurai's mastery of both grappling on horseback and unmounted sword warfare becomes crucial. In the melee, one samurai shatters his sword, and a shower of Mongol arrows kill him. The defenders of Tsushima are outnumbered. The bodies of Sukakuni and his followers are left on the beach, and by midday the Mongol invasion of Tsushima is unstoppable. Local buildings are burned, inhabitants slaughtered. The Mongols do the same to the island of Iki before advancing toward the mainland. The fleet comes into view and drops anchor, revealing the Mongol flair for psychological warfare. Their bows are adorned with female islanders dangling from a rope strung through their palms. An onslaught of Mongol horse archers charge the beach to the tune of signals from gongs and drums. They launch ear-splitting gunpowder bombs, sending Japanese horses staggering backward. Then they swing hooks and other weapons to rip the Japanese from their mounts. The Mongols generally navigate the battlefield wearing versatile light armor and carrying personal shields, while the more heavily armored samurai only use shields as stationary protective walls for their archers. The samurai are relentless sharpshooters. Their counterattacks force some of the Mongols to retreat and regroup. One samurai, Takazaki Suenaga, is eager to make a name for himself. Japanese warriors are compensated by the shogunate government only when they can offer proof of their own exceptional deeds. Proof which often takes the form of eyewitness accounts or enemy heads. Suenaga has tracked the retreating Mongols to an encampment. One of his followers warns him not to charge, to wait for reinforcements. But Suenaga answers, "The way of the bow and arrow is to do what is worthy of reward. Charge!" The Mongols let fly a volley of arrows, wounding Suenaga and his 3 retainers. Suenaga presses on until an arrow drills into his horse and he's thrown to the ground, helpless. Suddenly, a charge of reinforcements storms forward, saving his life. The Mongol counterattack is brutal. The Japanese scatter and retreat inland, while the invaders lay waste to many of the homes and shrines along the coast. And then they leave. There appears to have been a storm prior to their departure. Some accounts claimed it wrecked much of the Mongol fleet, while others state it was simply a fortuitous wind that gave the demoralized Mongol fleet the opportunity to sail back to Korea. The Mongols may have realized they lacked the manpower to occupy southern Japan. Whatever the case, the Mongols are gone. For Japan, it's now time to grieve and rebuild. It's the following year that Mongol emissaries arrive in Japan, reiterating Kublai Khan's request to submit to Mongol rule. Hojo Tokamune, the de facto ruler of Japan, has been beheaded. Later emissaries suffer the same fate. Tokamune knows the Mongols won't forget this. He constructs 12 miles of high stone walls on the coast of Japan. Another vital part of Japanese defense is prayer. The emperor, still an important religious figure in Japan, orders shrines to pray for peace and curse the Mongols. Yet the Mongol Empire only grows in power. They've crushed the last of China's southern Song dynasty, absorbed its mighty navy, and constructed a massive new fleet. In the years since the invasion, Kublai Khan has had time to orchestrate the downfall of Japan. In 1281, a Mongol fleet arrives on Tsushima. Defending samurai are crushed, villagers run to the mountains, but the Mongols follow the cries of fleeing children and hunt them down. They again occupy Iki and attack the mainland. But this time the guarded coastal walls prevent the Mongols from establishing a position on land. The Mongol fleet is forced to float ominously in the bay, planning island raids. The samurai sense vulnerability. They take sandbars and small boats out to the Mongol ships, clamber aboard, and fight. One, called Kawano Michiari, takes 5 followers and bounds over choppy seas in 2 small boats. As they near a Mongol vessel, an enemy archer kills his uncle. 2 more arrows carve into Michiari's shoulder and left arm as he climbs aboard. He ignores the wounds, unsheathes his sword, kills a large Mongol, and captures an officer. Takazaki Suenaga is also eager to join the fray. He squeezes onto an outgoing Japanese boat, storms a Mongol ship, and attacks the crew. The Mongols are bleeding supplies, but in midsummer the momentum seems to shift. Their massive southern fleet from the newly conquered southern China reaches Japan. The invading army is now 3 times as large as it was in the previous invasion. A tight battle at Takashima Island forces a Japanese retreat. Then the skies blacken. Sails flutter, waves swell. A typhoon overtakes the bay, devouring hundreds of Mongol ships. Soldiers are thrown overboard, vessels dashed against the rocks. The surviving Mongol ships cut anchor and abandon the invasion. The next day, thousands of Mongols, dead and alive, wash up on Japanese beaches and float by on driftwood. One straggler, Chang, has been stranded on an island for 3 days without food. He and other survivors plan to cut down trees, build ships, and sail home. But they're captured by Japanese who are surveying the area. Uninterested in forgiveness, the Japanese execute every Mongol, Korean, and northern Chinese they find. They view the southern Chinese as old allies of Japan, only recently forced under Mongol control. They spared the lives of the newly submitted, saying that they were people of the Tang dynasty, and made them slaves instead. I, Chang, was one of them. The invasion is over. Takazaki Suenaga, now in his mid-30s, will have his exploits documented in scrolls and will present testimonies and Mongol heads to receive rewards from the government. Samurai like Kawano Michiari will be honored as heroes. Kublai Khan and the Mongol Empire had famously laid claim to the entire universe, yet for the final time they've tried and failed to claim Japan.
So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And maybe even consider making a donation to our Patreon account. Thanks.
Alright, so there goes that. So I don't really know, but KJ had to go. He has work coming up tomorrow, so. And his birthday episode is actually next week, so coming next week and wish KJ a happy birthday. He deserves it. The Empire ignores Khan's letters. The ghosting of Tsushima. Oh my god. Alright, so imagine you and a small army of 80 watching a Mongol fleet of over a 1,000 invade your home, completely outnumbered, but you have to fight even if you die doing so. Samurai masters of the blade, but they are fast and foremost horse acres, so true and so grossly overlooked. I have lived near the comarca for 8 years. They still have a yearly parade from Hachimaru Shrine to the beach where they do horse archery demonstrations. They have been doing that since this battle, over 800 years, around 800 years. You have no honor, and you are a slave to it. Those lines cut deeper than any blade. The personations in this video was so well made that it looks like a mythic tale from Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, I'm good in the game. Everyone knows that the storm appeared because Jin Sakai wouldn't stop spamming the touchpad. Oh my god. Alternatively, you can have one samurai who is somehow also trained in stealth and has literal supernatural abilities like a healing factor, which seems to grow stronger with hot spring water, teleporting up to 3 times whilst attacking with his sword to the sound of thunder, and mind controlling enemies to attack one at a time. And it likes to seem to show that most people will get who I'm talking about, since some folks still seem confused in replies here. Look up Jin Sakai. Alright, so yeah, that's alright, so that's enough for that screen recording. Alright, so what would we like to do next? Let's see. Oh man. So you guys are just hanging out at this point, just hanging out at this point. Alright, so trying to figure out one last screen recording and then we would wrap up the episode. Trying to think which one I want to do. I guess we could do a few of these here. Alright. Yeah, because I don't know if you guys know, but it's almost like 1 in the morning for me, so this is probably the first time we've done it this late, or this late in a long time, or in a while I should say. But yeah, so I think we're just going to get right into it. This one's interesting to me. Hold on. Well, I'm just gonna look something up real quick. So I don't want to stall time, but I'm just looking because I'm curious. Okay. Not sure what I want to select. Having a hard time selecting. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do this one. It's by the same people, but it's just doing a different one. Alright, so start your screen recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Alright, let's play.
This video is brought to you by Established Titles. Stick around to the end to find out how you can become a Scottish Lord. The Daimyo Lord Omura Sumitada writes to a local samurai. Shortly it will be the time for the ship of the southern barbarians to arrive. The ships of Portugal have been known here for 2 decades. Their holy men wander this land of the rising sun, speaking of an ancient messiah called Christ and converting throngs of commoners and Sumitada himself. Yet royal Portuguese ships now come to Fukuda Bay to trade with Sumitada, and they offer an item most cherished in this country: guns. The presence of Portuguese traders will not go unnoticed by the enemies of Sumitada. This is the age of Sengoku. Japan lies fragmented into warring states ruled by local lords called daimyo. And in these bellicose dominions, their grand palaces stand barren of fealty to the emperor and the shogun. In the cool dark of autumn, stern warriors gather, hailing from the Matsura clan. Once patrons of the Portuguese firearms trade, the Matsura have been passed over in favor of their enemies, and so the strongest among them are called to battle. Captain Major Dom João Pereira has received warning, but he has not fled. His decks are garrisoned by a feared class of soldier, which, in the name of God in Portugal, has variously burned, conquered, and traded along the coasts of Brazil, Africa, India, and China. But the captain is soon arrested by the sight of 80 ships flooding the bay. The crew beholds ranks of an older and storied warrior, the samurai. Both armies open with volleys of gunfire. A bullet strikes Pereira, but only dents his helmet. He staggers to his cabin. Hordes of samurai begin to scale the sides of the ship, braving a bursting fog of gunsmoke. The deck becomes stage to a bloody melee, where men fall in that storm of bullets, clanging armor and swords and pikes. A few samurai cut through the battle, force themselves into the cabin, and capture Pereira. But the crossfire of Portuguese cannons has torn asunder many of the samurai vessels. Splinter and flesh drift across the bay. Pereira is rescued, and the samurai abandon the attack. It is not Portugal alone that heralds this age of global empire. Conquistadors from the rival Spain have waded through the Americas, and aided by disease and some indigenous allies, they have dethroned many kings and chiefs, and proclaimed themselves rulers in the New World. Spain has not contented itself there. The crown has sent armies into Asia, but they will not escape the reach of Japan. Villagers have seen them, gathering where the murky rivers drift into rainforest. The Spanish colonial governor relays word of these interlopers to his king. The Japanese are the most warlike people in this part of the world. They have artillery and many guns and lances, and they use defensive armor for the body made of iron, all of which they owe to the industry of the Portuguese. Nearly 8 years have passed since Japanese and Chinese raiders attacked Spanish Manila. Spanish troops recall those first waves of barefoot swordsmen with bamboo hats and banners, an image consistent with low-ranking samurai. The Spanish had repelled them then, but no peace came of it. The Japanese here do not answer to any daimyo or emperor. The Chinese Ming dynasty retired its mighty naval vessels more than a century ago, and the surrounding seas fell into thievery, plundered by pirates called wako, of Chinese, Japanese, and Korean origin. Far from their home shores, Japanese wako have nonetheless ventured ever more audaciously into the Philippines. They took first to smuggling in precious metals, and in 1580 and 81, they violently raided native settlements. The Japanese pirate lord, whom the Spanish call Teisufu, is amassing a small fleet of pirate ships. Spain deploys several ships under Juan Pablo de Carrion to crush them. The lead galley sets out and quickly captures a ship belonging to a Chinese pirate crew. Teisufu may sail with some Chinese and Filipino recruits, but his is a pirate fleet identified as Japanese. His crew containing samurai in only the most ignoble and hollow sense of the word. Warriors of Japan, but strangers to the old moral codes of Bushido. And some are perhaps Ronin, wayward samurai who, to their own shame, no longer serve any master. It happens that off the northern coast of Luzon, the Spanish galley catches sight of a Japanese ship. The captain orders a barrage of cannon fire and splits the main mast of the pirate ship. The Spanish lurch toward the wounded vessel, only to be struck by a hail of grappling hooks and Japanese gunfire. Droves of furious pirates pull themselves onto the galley and draw pikes and swords. The Spanish batter and slay some of them, but the pirates tear through their ranks. The Spanish abandon their position at the main mast. In a desperate stand, they raise their guns and wildly fire into the onslaught of pirates. The Japanese retreat to their vessel, which is then boarded by Spanish soldiers. The pirates fight them valiantly, yet they fall in wretched heaps under unrelenting Spanish fire. When only 18 remain, the pirates relinquish their bloodied weapons and surrender. The Spanish continue into the Cagayan River, and one chronicler recounts, the Spaniards found themselves in this region, but against the will of its inhabitants, who as little wished to see them there as to see the Japanese. And here the Spanish accounts diverge. Teisufu is said to have been killed at some point, and the Spaniards later pen lurid tales of river or land battles, in which their countrymen vanquish 1,000 Japanese and suffer hardly any losses. In truth, their triumph comes at a cost. Spaniards wash blood from their ship decks and bury the fallen. The colonial governor of the Philippines petitions the crown for reinforcements, and he admits, these occasions now are not so much a matter of jest as they have been hitherto. The Chinese and Japanese are valiant people. So now the rumors can end. I finally have proof that I'm not a Scottish peasant. I am a lord. By Scottish tradition, landowners are the ladies and lords or lairds of their estates, and established titles now allows you to claim this majestic title by purchasing as little as 1 square foot of land in Edelston, Scotland. It's also just one of the best and most unique last-minute gifts to get someone you care about. It comes with a fancy certificate with a crest and a unique plot number you can actually use to go look up your new estate. You can start throwing Lord and Lady on your credit cards and plane tickets, and the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will get plots near mine. We can start building the fearsome History Dose Kingdom together. And don't worry, we'll still be kindly rulers. Established Titles not only protects the woodlands of Scotland from construction and damage, but they also plant a tree with every order. They partner with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running a massive sale. Plus, if you use the code DOSE10, you get an additional 10% off. Go to established-titles.com/dose10 to get your gifts now and help support the channel.
Alright, it's just in time, because we just hit the 1 hour mark. Let's see if there's any comments. We can all agree History Dose is one of the most underrated channels on the platform. This is probably the best history channel on YouTube. It's my favorite. The fact that both of these brothers do their own artwork and research makes it so much more impressive. It really captures these bloody tales from the past. Jose is arguably one of the best modern artists I've ever seen, both digital and physical. What an incredible painter. Yeah. There was the event in history of the Philippines where an army of mix of Spaniards, Aztec warriors, natives or pre-Hispanic Philippines almost fought with native Muslims of the Philippines, backed with Muslims from Brunei and Ottoman Empire. Another bizarre event happened during a Chinese pirates mixed with Japanese. Ronins invaded Manila, which was defended by Filipino natives in Spanish. Hope you can search it and maybe made a vid about it. As usual, great vid too. Alright, so anyways guys, I think that's gonna wrap up the podcast. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap up the podcast. I always appreciate you guys coming in, stopping in for the podcast as always. I love the hell out of you guys. It's a matter of just keep pushing forward. That's all. That's the best we can do. So anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. And stay tuned for new podcast episodes every Saturday. It's Saturdays with the Boys podcast. And also if you haven't already, hit the link in the description. Go to my main channel. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And get me to 300 subscribers by the end of 2023. Let's try to make that goal. And you can stay tuned for more regular content. I put podcast content on there as well, and regular content, gaming content, so you guys can check all that out and whatnot. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And and as always, we'll see you guys next week. And next week is going to be a special episode because it is once again KJ's. Kirby KJ. I don't know, but both names are exposed at this point. It'll be KJ's birthday again, so we're going to talk about that a little bit more next week, so hopefully we can get him on. I'm hoping so. I mean, it's his birthday episode, so anyways guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and as always, we will see you guys next week. Deuces. Peace out guys, be well, love ya.
Trapping.